Alrighty, welcome back to what is now episode 9 of Enter the Gungeon. For possibly the first time, I am playing this dude. I haven't given him a try, so we'll see how it goes. I believe he starts with an ammo drop, which we'll probably use pretty early in. A sidearm should fire, do the same amount of damage as everything else. He's got his little helmet, which I'm pretty sure gives us armor, so that's at least convenient. Oh hey, that okay, well, it seems he had 2 shots to kill. 1, 2. Oh, okay. I guess, yeah, sure, teleport away if that's what you want to do. Why not? Whatever works. Yuri, in between episodes, had to bounce off to go to bed, so it'll just be us unless someone rolls around. Limited and hasted. Okay, so that means we've got more speed, but our ammo is limited, which can be both good and bad depending on which gun we get. Not gonna lie, I always hate these shotgun shells. Don't blow up on me, please. Oh, nope, I see you there. Ooh, yeah, got that good speed going. Nothing in here, which is nice because that means that we have free reign on doing this. Good thing I can't take damage from the fire, otherwise I almost certainly would have. Nope, nothing there. Try and see if we can spot a hidden room. Probably shouldn't just randomly use my blanks, but occasionally I get lucky. Ooh, we got some sunglasses. We've got a bright future. Not exactly sure what that does. I mean, we can quickly check, I suppose. Passive item slows down time during explosions. Increases dodge power during explosions. Very nice. That sounds good to me. So, if there's anything that goes off, we'll have a chance to dodge better. Luckily, I've already lowered the amount of. Ooh, that's cool. I can get down with that. Luckily, there's a couple of these guys. This is going to be maybe a bit of a pain. Don't kill me, please. I like to live. Okay, roll down here. Okay. So, yeah, these guys are a bit of a pain as well, but if I can just keep pelting them, I can generally dodge out all of their stuff. They're not too difficult to deal with. We've got our secret area here, which means that I need to get on top of getting some keys. So there's a key here, cigarettes here. We probably don't want the cigarettes. Table tech heat. Yes, hello. Give me money. Okay. I think you can only do that once, unfortunately. Table tech heat is decent, but I suppose I'll come back here afterwards. We'll see what the situation is. I don't want to waste money if I don't need to. And I do like collecting table tech stuff, so that way when I flip a table, I have like any number of different effects going off. Shotgun, heat, rocket is good. You know, assuming that you do it at the right time and remember that you've got those abilities, it's always pretty nice. Okay, take out these guys. Luckily, that's just a rubber bullet, so he can't actually damage us. Ooh, that counts as an explosion, I suppose. So that's nice. Good to know. Good to know. I mean, who would have guessed that the explosion counts as an explosion? Man, tough brain figuring out, brain work. It's stuff and things. There's a ghost down here. Please don't. That's right. I needed also to check because we completed the hunt. I should probably go and deal with that. Okay, so we're just pelting this guy. Shouldn't be any big issue at the moment, it seems. Yep, there we go. Consistent damage. It's always nice. Random thumping sounds apparently can be heard from outside my room. Don't know what's up with that, but I mean, it's only like 6 p.m., so it's no biggie. Taken care of. Okay, sounds like someone's banging something with a hammer. Fantastic. Brilliant. I didn't know that Yuri was able to get into my house. I mean, what? You know, speaking of banging and such, it's chill though. I'm not really worried about any of that. I generally know a decent a decent amount in terms of what I think is worth giving out and what I would rather not give out in terms of information. So generally, I'd like to think I'm at least in a generally pretty good position. Like, I don't know. It is what it is. Plus, I presume it at least looks funny, or at least sounds funny, given that I don't have a camera. So, at the very least, there's that. Now, it'd be real nice. Okay, there we go. I was going to say if I could pick up that. Okay, we've got table tech heat plus a Winchester rifle, but no keys. So, that's unfortunate. Would prefer to not get hit, as usual. I was giving some thought to the way that I dodge roll, given that a lot of the time I instinctually roll away from whatever I'm trying to dodge from. And thing is, that's not really good. You generally would want to be rolling perpendicular to whatever you're trying to get away from. This guy actually kind of rolls pretty nice. I think it's actually my speed boost that I got though. That could have been an issue there. See my phone lighting up, which is concerning. I guess I'll deal with that in half a second. Okay, yeah, we won't be joined tonight, it seems. That's all good though. I'm not really worried. Okay, we got our plague pistol, which is nice. So that's the thing that always sets me off. Is I usually think the star means that it's comboed with something, but no, I think the star means that it's just that it just is the one I've got equipped at the moment, which is whatever works, I guess. Now let me quickly just 100% verify, so I just know I'm not being a dummy. Actually, I suppose I could go here and... Oop, nope, nothing there. Okay, cool. I was going to say if we found a secret area and that gave us a key, that would be nice. Where is the secret area? It's here. And I haven't popped any of those, so... Just wanted to make sure in case I had gone and accidentally popped one of them, so that way I could go and deal with that. Should be right, though. Now, I think in floor 2 is the floor where... we need to find the other item, which actually I'll deal with later. Oh no, I guess I'll quickly check to make sure it's here. Yep, that's there. That little TV. So if you saw last episode, you would know that I wanted to hold on to it until the last area, which unfortunately we had it being taken by the rat, which does also mean that it can be taken by the rat, which is a bit of an annoyance, but that's fine. It probably explains what happened when I first found it, because I lost it and it disappeared. I couldn't find it. So, yeah, that was the whole thing that happened. Now, it'd be real nice if I could... Yep, okay, I think I hit something there. Just roughly trying to get the right positioning. Something down that way. It seems like he's just wandering back and forward. Oh, there's two of them. There we go. Perfect. Taken care of. With efficiency, because efficiency, of course, needs to be in quotations. Take care of that. And we'll just move over here. Boop, and 1 and 2. Nice. Not bad, not bad. Quickly check up the shop. What's happening? What's good? Of course, the skull key is here. There's some other keys here. It's nice. Yo, how's it going? Yeah, Yuri dipped out for or to go to sleep. But of course, you can imagine, and given that she did request that I give you the final message that she had for you, and you can probably guess what it is. But she wished me to say the word sex because reasons. Yeah. Okay, fair. Well, that works. But yeah, how's it going? I've been failing at this game, as I always do, but that's nothing new. So yeah, I've surprisingly. Oh, hang on, we got this. There we go. Worth it. that slide across the long table is always worth it. You feel. I mean, feeling is better than not feeling, generally. Leprosy is not good for the body. You feel right. I mean, feeling right is also good. But yeah, seems we won't be joined by good old buddy Chris with a K for some world building tonight. He messaged saying that he was a tad tired. So that's chill. We'll probably, I don't know what specific day we'll do it, but it'll be eventual. Like, we'll get around to it. Ooh, that was close. And I'm out of ammo on that. This is unfortunate. Unfortunate, definitely. Okay, we killed him. I'm surprised we did, but we did. And flop that up. I mean, yeah, it's more of just for specification's sake. But, yeah. Oh, the medkit. I don't need that. Oh, hey, actually, I'm out of ammo on this, so what I could do is a supply drop. Then we take that. We receive the supply drop of ammo. Excellent. But, nah, to be fair, first it was Chris, and now it's Chris and Chris with a K. Yeah, true. But, yeah, either way, because, yeah, Chris comes around a while. Because if I'm not mistaken, Crafter, didn't you first come around on one of our D&D streams? I'm guessing? I'm pretty sure, at least, that's when you first came around. I think, at least. But, yeah, and I realised over the other night when we were recording the podcast, I was just talking to the boys afterwards, and I was like, oh, actually haven't recorded D&D, any D&D content for a little while, and it's a bit of a bummer, because I actually do quite a lot enjoy, you did, but you haven't met Chris with a K. Okay, fair, so you would have, I think, yeah, you would have probably come around on one of the D&D streams, just map making or something. Yeah, so Chris started joining, yeah, D&D prep, that's fair. Because I think the D&D prep, the time, while we were organising a lot of the D&D prep stuff, that was before when we started actually doing, damn it, that sucked. Yeah, so that was before I decided I'd start doing the podcasty thing that we do, so that would have been before Chris first appeared on the channel. But yeah, basically, because as of recently, since I started basically like talking to some of the boys about like podcasting and stuff, and Mastermind's been unavailable for certain sessions, I've basically just hit up some of the boys and been like, hey, you want to come join me and talk about D&D for a while? And they're like, yeah, sure, let's do that. So, well, now we have what is essentially a D&D podcast. I mean, granted, it's not D&D real-time play. I think a lot of the jokes that we make are probably not particularly suited to real-time play, but maybe someday in the future. Probably not at the moment, especially given that we don't have any campaigns running at the moment. I was running a campaign on Sundays, which is the one that you would have seen me prepping. You're honestly down to talk about D&D? Yeah, the thing is, I'm always down to talk about D&D, so much so that I think Yuri's gotten kind of sick of it. Because, yeah, I've talked about it quite a bit, and she's just like, I'm really not interested in this conversation, and I'm like, bummer, but I get it, it's chill. But, because I know I could talk about D&D for quite a long time, hence is why, I have the whole podcast thing. But, yeah, so, at least in that sort of situation, since I've actually got, the boys who are just like, yeah, fuck it, let's talk about D&D, I'm just like, hell yeah. And so we just sit there for ages. Though, yeah, because I was I was prepping for the session. Yeah. I don't know, it's just one of those things where I'm like, yeah, sure, if that's the conversation you want to be having, but, like, I don't know, not really my thing to talk about on stream. Like, I'm open generally, but, like, it's kind of weird talking about it with people that I haven't ever met before and don't have actual reference on, people or anything like that. So it's like, hey, whatever works for you. But like, yeah. Though something tells me that me being somewhat sheepish and not wanting to talk about it probably only fueled the fire to some degree. But it's chill at the end of the day. Like, I didn't even mean to activate the blank. Yeah, like, I don't know. It's not my thing, but yeah, that's just usually the times when I just go, okay, well, I'm just not going to pay attention to the chat right now and let you guys, or let her talk it out or whatever. But yeah, no, I'm much more interested in talking about D&D and stuff. Because, like, thing is, like, and maybe that makes me sound like a massive fucking nerd that I'd rather talk about D&D over sex, but, like, I am interested in D&D. Yeah, that's fair. And the thing is, like, on one hand, I'm like, I would say, like, if I end up as a bit bigger of a streamer, then I would be I'd be much more on top of that sort of stuff. But it's just one of those things of like, I do want to avoid, angering or like messing with people. Yeah, video games are fun generally, but yeah, I want to avoid, trying or losing the like one of the like few of the regulars that I have. So I try and keep it all balanced as best as I can. But yeah, and it's like, at the end of the day, at least in my opinion, it's one of those things of like, yeah, I've talked about sex plenty in the past. If I'm here playing video games, though, I'm not really too keen on the idea of like thinking about sex or like talking about sex that I've had with people in the past. But yeah, I don't know. It's all just trying to keep a balance naturally. Yeah, I got the backup gun. Oh hey, when I fire, it fires backwards. That's pretty cool. Sort of like the thing you can get in Binding. But yeah, I don't know. It's all one of those sort of positions where it's a difficult spot to talk about because naturally, I'm not the keenest on talking about sex. So, but at the same time, I don't want to be that guy who's like, oh, I don't want to be the guy who's pushing away the like one of the few people or any of the people who want to watch. Like, if I'm gonna have people who do me the favor of coming around. Wait, hang on, give me a second. You want to avoid giving your opinion further due to being. I mean, hey, I'm chill at the end of the day. You're welcome to talk as much as you want. Keep in mind, I've got real thick skin, sort of thing. It's more of just like, yeah, I get where you're coming from. Trust me. Like, yeah, it's just one of those things of like, trust me, I know for a fact I'm a fucking pushover when it comes to a lot of that sort of stuff. Like, that is no secret. At least in terms of like enforcing rules and stuff, there have been conversations that have had that like, I'm just sort of like, this is kind of shit, but whatever, I'll just deal with it. And I mean, to be fair, on one hand, I should probably be a bit more on top of that because I know that if I just kind of deal with it, then I tend to end up making kind of shitty content because if I'm not too keen on what's happening, then I know that it's going to reflect that I'm not keen on what's going on, and that's not fun for anyone. But at the end of the day, yeah, it is what it is, I guess. I try to make it fun for everyone because naturally, what's the point in streaming if you're not trying to do that? So yeah, you get the idea at least, though. Wait, hang on. Give me half a second so I can get out of this room before. Hang on. It's more of the concept you're a visitor. That's fair. I mean, hey, at the end of the day, it's it's cool either way. I'm cool with all that sort of stuff. Like, naturally, it's up to the host as well to try and make it comfortable for the visitors as well. Like, at the end of the day, I want to I got the vibe immediately that you weren't particularly too keen on that conversation that Yuri was having, and I was like, would prefer to change the topic. And then it's like, fuck, I am horrible when it comes to coming up with topics off the top of my head. It's like actually one of my worst like conversational abilities in terms of like I just can't do it, which probably makes me not the best streamer in that sense, but it's fine. So yeah, changing topics, I try, but I get it, some of them don't exactly go over very well. But yeah, no, my goal is essentially to just basically have it be fun for everyone. So if I can do that, then I'll try and do it as best as I can. That being said, I also want to try and find a way to make it fun for everyone. That oh damn it! Oh, my helmet got knocked off. Huh? Yeah, I want it to be fun for everyone as best as I can. Granted, of course, I'm somewhat new to streaming still, so I'm trying to find it. I'm trying to like figure out the kinks with like the with the system that I've got, sort of thing. Um, yeah, that's fair. I mean, hey, to be fair, honestly, I probably wouldn't have blamed you if you just went, "Hey, Yuri, please fucking stop." Like, sometimes it's like, because I'm going to guess that's what you're referring to in terms of causing a scene in quotations, sort of thing. And like, all things considered, like, yeah, hey, if that's like, I'm all good with that sort of stuff. If you want to speak up, then all I'm going to say is I'm not going to stop you. Like, sometimes I feel it's yeah, like, I try and do the whole nudge, nudge, wink, wink, not really too keen on the conversation sort of thing by just like, yeah, trying to change the topic. If it doesn't work, yeah, that's when I generally go to kind of shit in terms of being conversationally able or powerful, I guess. As in, like, how do I put it? Say for example, I was running a campaign. Oh yeah, thing is, like, I want to be at that sort of position where I can do that, but at the same time, I know that like, my willingness to try and make everything be all good and chill kind of overwhelms my sense of like fix things, which is not good generally. So say for example, I was running a campaign the other week, and I talk about the campaign, like this campaign. Well, actually, it's the one I was preparing for, right? The one with all the dragons and the kobold den and everything. And one of the players, he started off the session by like just audibly coughing like a bunch into the microphone, and I'm sort of sitting there like, this is like, it was one of those things where I'm sort of sitting there like, oh, this kind of sucks. Would prefer literally anything else to be happening right now. Um, then he didn't really stop. Oh, no, it's chill at the end of the day. I'm just basically following the conversation, sort of thing. But yeah, in that certain circumstance, he was just like fully coughing, and even though I'm the DM and I kind of feel bad for it, Mastermind, who was in the session, straight up had to like put a message in chat because it was essentially, since I didn't know that guy in person, he was on Discord and the rest were in person. Mastermind was straight up just like, "Oi, look at Rule 1." Literally, like, well, to be fair, Rule 1 was regarding soundboards, which he was then also doing later on. But yeah, I feel bad for kind of having Mastermind have to do it, and I talked to him afterwards, and he was like, it's all good. I don't mind, and I'm just like, I just was basically like, yeah, I know you don't mind, but I should stand up and actually probably, like, speak my mind in that sense, but I just know I'm horrible at it. But I know that's at least, for example, of the sort of position that I've usually, like, yeah, you get the idea of what I'm saying. This is a concerning position to be in, not gonna lie. Should have grabbed a new gun, or like anything. Wait, hold on. Hang on. Yeah, exactly, and that's sort of where I'm at. Like, with the boys, I can generally be like a bit more, hey, yeah, can we like fucking not, please? But yeah, with people I'm not entirely sure with, like, I'm still trying to figure out the just how to. Fuck, damn it. Looks like I'm not doing damageless. Yeah, you get the idea. But yeah, at the end of the day, it all comes down to just finding the balance. Because yeah, naturally, I want to make content that everyone can appreciate, and I suppose to some degree, when there's more people, of course, naturally, you can you can find a balance a lot easier. Because, it's easier for me to justify saying, like, hey, can we not talk about this if it's more than, or rather if there's like a few people there sort of being like, hey, I'm not keen on this. Hence, you weren't. I don't think you were there when I was talking about how I had to kick a player out of a campaign I was running. Basically, yeah, I was holding off until I knew that everyone in the entire party didn't want the guy there, and then when that time came, that's when. When they all said to me, like, hey, no, we all don't want him here, that's when I was able to be like, hey, yeah, can we, not be dealing with this? And I basically messaged him and was like, hey, yeah, the boys don't want you to be here. It's a long story, but yeah. I'm not sure what the I was to, because, yeah, I don't know. That's also one of the other things that I'm kind of horrible with, is being able to relate certain messages to the rambling that I tend to do, especially when I'm trying to fight a boss. But yeah, either way, you get where I'm coming from, though. I'm always down for feel free if there's ever a conversation with Yuri or anything that you're not comfortable with, to just be like, hey, can you not? Because either way, I'm cool. I'd much rather people speak up if they were, uncomfortable and such. Never had to kick a player, but when you get where you're coming from. Yeah. So, I mean, it's a story I recite somewhat often. I say somewhat often in quotations. Basically, the long and short of it was that the player was just completely kind of killing the vibe, and my entire party of players was just like, hey, I'm really not vibing with this person right now. Can we get rid of him or something, please? And I was like, yeah, okay, I guess we'll do that. Because it was a bunch of things that set them all off. But say, for example, it would be the situation of that you're really passive aggressive when you deal with people who are being an annoyance. That's fair. Yeah, I get that. I'm usually more just the bite my tongue, hopefully this conversation will be dealt with soon, sort of thing. Also, it just occurred to me that because I have slow motion explosions and I have the grenade launcher, I'm just going to be consistently in slow motion. And yeah, don't worry, I get what you mean. Ooh, I got my grappling hook. But yeah. I don't know, it's all a fine balance that I'm still kind of working out, because I've only actually been streaming for 2 months at this point. That sounds about right. I mean, time is a bit of a blur for me at this particular moment, given life. But yeah, you get it. Still in the process of figuring it out. Because yeah. That being said, I do want to do streaming is a really thin line one walks on. Yeah, absolutely. And it's one of those things where I don't want to since I don't want to waste the effort that I'm putting into it, sort of thing. Generally, I like making sure that I have some degree of payoff for everything I do. This being one of those examples. If I'm gonna spend, I got 250 hours total so far of streaming. And if I'm gonna spend that much time during uni semesters as well, working on stuff like streams, I want to make sure that they're at least, it has some small level of payoff, even if that just means the one new stream we get every couple of weeks or something. I'm fine with that. But you get where I'm coming from. I don't want to have it all been for nothing just because I've played it badly. And even though it is something where it's just oh yeah, it's just a game that I'm playing for fun, sort of thing, it's yeah. And it's streaming that I'm doing for fun. You reap what you sow. True. There was that's actually something similar to what Zine, a streamer that I actually watch, was saying at one point, where essentially he was saying that from the start he'd been building a very specific sort of audience. So I definitely get what you mean. So I mean, I suppose that it's probably best said in terms of like, if I'm going to be very open and let stuff like that get through, then it's going to always seem to get through, which is not exactly what I'm going for. But yeah, that's a good call. Well, that's a good phrase, I would say. Ooh, got armor. But yeah, it's definitely going to be one of those things where as I get to a position where I've got a couple of people coming around, it's going to be a lot easier, I reckon, for me to be able to be like, hey, can we like fucking not sit here and talk about like sex or whatever for the entire time? Like, I get sex is good, but like, if I'm streaming playing video games, not everyone needs to know about people I've boned in the past, sort of thing. I mean, I could just take the Captain Sparkles approach and just be like, yeah, I'm not answering anything like that, which is probably actually what I'll end up doing. But oh, of course, yeah, no, it's chill. I don't mind. I I mean, hey, I've put time into it. I like talking about like everything. So I mean, given that streaming is one of those things that I've put, like I said, like 250 hours into so far, I'm always down to talk about ways to improve the stream and stuff. Like, I want the streams to be as good as physically possible. I want them to be, generally entertaining, so that way my time isn't wasted. So I'm always open to suggestions and stuff. But yeah, because I mean, at this point, streaming is also something that I've actually invested money into at this point as well. Given that the other night I was buying I was buying like a microphone and everything, or like rather than a microphone, just like a small like lavalier thing. Um, you got the I like to talk about anything part. Yeah, I mean, like the thing is, like well, okay, correction, anything like fitting into generally what we were talking about, like sex and stuff, and not so much, or rather, I'll talk about it just off stream. But while I'm streaming and I'm in the mood to play video games, I kind of want to sit there and talk about video games. You know what I mean? It's situational. Um, yeah, like yeah, you get where I'm coming from, or at least I hope you do. um, yeah, we want this. I just realised that we are very low on ammo. So yeah. Also, actually, on a side note as well, I think you would appreciate that this game actually has quite a lot of D&D references as well. I don't know if those guys are necessarily or D&D references, but I call them displacer beasts in reference to the fact they sort of look like displacer beasts. Though I'm not actually entirely sure of what the proper term is for it. I mean, I could just check in a second. Ooh, I took damage there. Don't touch me, no. Okay, I'm surprised I didn't take damage there. I mean, those guys are literally illithids. Come on, die already. There we go. Displacer beasts, yeah. Hang on, if I bring up the Ammonomicon thing, we can actually find their proper name. Where are they? These things. Misfire beasts. I mean, bullet whips, projection. Yeah, the displacer is a 6-legged puma with 2 tentacles. Yeah, I believe that's the one. This thing's only 4-legged, but yeah, you get at least where I'm kind of coming from with it. And then this one's literally called the Killithid, so you can tell they've got some references from stuff. What else do they have here? I mean, those are the most like obvious ones. I mean, there's a mimic here, though. I think mimics are probably more than just D&D specifically. But yes, that's the whole thing. I don't know, I'm not really vibing with this run too much. It's not gone particularly as I've liked. Usually I like, powerful weapons. But it seems we've got a lot of not so powerful weapons at the moment. But, okay, and a bit of damage there. Didn't even notice. Hey, we've got the big old lad on our side. That's always nice. That's right, it's bin night, so there might be some audio of people doing bins outside my house. Mimics kind of everywhere. Yeah, it's sort of like the whole thing with doppelgangers. Like, I wouldn't call doppelgangers a D&D thing because I've heard, doppelganger is a word that's been around for, hundreds of years, I suppose. At least the idea of something that mimics something else is likewise an old word that has been around for quite a long time. But yeah, you get what I'm doing. If you've played this game, you'll be vibing with good DPS weapons. Yeah, thing is, like on the wiki thing I've got, because I've got like an app on my phone that I can check through stuff with. Generally, I try and keep an eye on like what stuff is good, but I'm not exactly the best at that. Not gonna lie. Ooh, hey, okay, here we go. Winchester rifle. So here's the play though. We take this. We take the plague pistol. Since we're currently kind of working with like garbage, we'll take the Colt and we'll drop that. Machine pistol, grenade launcher, and the other one. So we take that. Now that we've got a bit of money, we can hopefully find the shop or the boss. That works. Have I ever played Risk of Rain 2? I've played Risk of Rain 1, I believe. However, it was one of those games where it was sort of tough for me, and I it was one of those ones where I kind of put it aside when I got or I had it, and because I got it around the same time I got this game, and I was like, I'll put them aside and I'll come back to them on a rainy day, pun intended. But I do imagine it'd be a fun game to play. M16. Interesting. Very interesting. I got a grapple hook. Grapple hook's kind of cool. What's the play? What is the situation here? I'm just deep in thought in terms of what exactly we do. You haven't played the first, but you enjoy Risk of Rain 2. That's fair. Yeah, it did seem like one of those games that I would get into in the same way that I've gotten into this at the moment. But yeah, I'll play it at some point, I reckon. And that's the thing as well, is like I've sort of held off just because I haven't had any of the boys to play it with, so I'm just like, I'll get to it eventually, I guess. Okay. Get rid of the item. Okay, I'm about to make some plays here, and I don't know if they're going to work out well. But okay, I want to keep the grenade launcher. Right. So just like Warframe. I spent quite a lot of time with Warframe. I back in the day I had a I like fully played it for quite a long time. I mained Rhino Prime. And I had a decent amount of fun with it. This fucking boss. I hate this boss. Yeah, I probably spent way too much time playing Warframe back in the day. Oh hey, wait, what the heck? Yeah, I had grenade launchers. Is that a grenade launcher combo, or is that just this? I'm taking... my issue with this boss is that I just take a lot of damage during it, so naturally... as you can see, I'm not doing the best here. Give me half a second and I'll check chat. I might actually die depending on the damage output I'm working with. This is concerning, not gonna lie. But yeah, Main supports like Harrow, Wisp, and Protea. Yeah, those three are all different, or rather, they're all new ones that have been added since I played. I played way back in the day, like a couple of years ago. So, oh, hey, what is the fairy? Unbelievably charming. Huh, okay. Yeah, I had like Rhino Prime, I had like Volt, I had Volt Prime. Um, I was basically going for having everything. I had Banshee, I had like, trying to just think off the top of my head because it's been a long time since I thought about it. Like, I'm talking like 5-6 years ago. Oh! That little fairy showed what was in that chest. Harrow was out a couple of years ago. Yeah, that still sounds like something that was past my time, or past the time that I played the game. But, yeah. But, yeah, I remember back. Oh, fuck. Like, I'm trying to think. Like, that was what, year 9 or 10? I'm 3 years out of high school, so call it 5 years ago, I would say. But yeah, I put quite a lot of time back into that game. It's a shame. I do miss some of the guys I played the game with. If Capone, was it If Capone? Which, to be fair, his name was like. Actually, I probably shouldn't say what his actual name was. Freak Out, Ion. Who else was there? Rageous was one of them. He was pretty cool. But yeah, just a bunch of different guys that we played with. I'll just jump on, play for a couple of hours, then bounce out. Oh, okay, fair. Yeah, no, I don't even remember actually at this point what would have been coming out by the time I was finishing up. I actually no, that's what it was. I started. By the time I was finishing, I was around the point where they fully got all like that because I was finishing as they were adding all of the like flying stuff where you could get like those wings and just like fly around in space. Like I was like finishing up around that time, I would say. Which, to be fair, I actually kind of really liked that whole situation. It was just more of at that particular time I was having to get into doing schoolwork and stuff because I was getting into senior years of high school. But yeah, fun game, definitely. It's one of those ones where I tried to get Archwings. That's what they're called. Yeah, I tried to get back into playing on the computer because one of the boys who was the one that got me back in playing this, he was like, "Oh, you should play Warframe," and I was like, "Okay, I'll give it a try." I loaded it up on what's it called on my computer, and since I played it on the PS4, I ended up not having like all my stuff, so I was like, oh, when they add cross compatibility and the ability to get my like gear back, then I'll do that. And I don't think they either haven't done that, or at least I haven't been told if they've done that. And because since I mained Rhino Prime, that was sort of like my whole shit. So without Rhino Prime, I feel it would be one of those things of like it'd be disingenuous for me to play again. Yeah, okay, fair. And it's a shame as well because I did very much enjoy the game, but that was my last kind of foray into multiplayer shooting type games. Because yeah, I mean I spent so much time in it that I had to stop eventually anyways. It would be probably not the best for me to start playing it again, especially given the fact I'm in university now. But it was a good game, though. I'll give it that. I spent way too much time playing it. Nothing here. Yep. That's right. I never went back and grabbed the radio, did I? And I just took some damage. Brilliant. I'm not really doing the best in terms of ammo right now, it seems. Nice. Warframe is a time sink and potentially a money sink. Yeah, no. Thing is, I never had the money. Even though I know that there was probably some times when I was like, "Hey, I want to be able to throw a bit of money into this game," it was one of those things where my parents were always like, "Yeah, you're not doing that. Like, that's a waste of money." And I was like, "Okay, fair. I understand why." It just, was disappointing, of course. But I don't blame them, all things considered, given that shortly after that point, anyways, I stopped playing, so it's not really that big of a deal, anyways. This backup gun, the one that makes me shoot backwards, is pretty fresh. But yeah, to be fair, actually, I reckon Warframe might have some potentially like really good potential to be added into, or to have like, or not added into D&D, but to have like a custom D&D thing built for it. Assuming that you know the lore of Warframe and stuff. Like, I imagine there's actually decent stuff that you could probably make it work. Like, because keep in mind, I made like a Hero Academia game work, which I'm gonna guess. I always lose track of who said that they know Hero and who knows Hero Academia and who doesn't. But Hero Academia was. Initially, I was like, oh, there's no way that Hero Academia would make sense in in the game, but it sort of worked. Of course, there was the bits and pieces where I'm like, this is not something that I'm sure I know how to implement, but I think with a bit of creativity and taking effort and time and willing subjects, we managed to get it working, at least I think, decently. Kill these little things preferably. Oh. Come on, just die already. This boss always has given me issues. Oh, hey, I've got this weapon. Okay, hold on. Almost got him. It's between this bow and my my basic weapon. I have half a heart. Okay, Jesus. Believe it or not, XCOM. Some people have tried putting Warframe into D&D. Believe it or not, XCOM 2 works very well in D&D. Actually, I do actually know of that because Mastermind, I do believe, was trying to work on a system putting XCOM into D&D. We got 21 coins. We'll take heal. Excuse me. Hold on. All praise the Helix, I'm guessing, is what that's supposed to be referencing. You have an XCOM 2 D&D system. That's pretty fresh. Yeah, it's one of those ones where, I don't know, I've always been sort of half-half on bringing tech into D&D. Or rather, more so, I've never really been too interested in trying to figure it out myself. But I've always been open to, if one of the boys, for example, has a system that works, and they are running a campaign with people I want to play with, I'll make it work. Like, I'll go out of my way to make sure I spend, or that I have time to do it. We got the Mimic Tooth Necklace. Wait, hang on, what were we supposed to kill? Gun Nut. What are the Gun Nuts? Are those the cultist dudes? I'll go out of my way to hang out with the boys if I'm given the chance. Perhaps though, I'd say talk to Mastermind if you're in chat and you see him next. Gun cultist, okay. Because he's probably the one to talk to about that. I feel like I wouldn't do it justice. A demonic parody of the shotgun kin. Right. Which ones are the gun nuts? Yeah. Because it's one of those things where I felt confident with the hero campaign, and then to be fair, after I finished that campaign, I've been sitting there talking to some of the boys about setting it or starting it back up, and it's a weird position to be in because I want to do it, and I know it worked out well, but I know some of the boys were like, "Yeah, no, we shouldn't do that because if we do that, then it might if it goes badly, it might taint the original campaign in our memory." And I'm like, "Okay, I get that. It's definitely a bummer, but I get it at least." But yeah, I don't know. I'm at the point where I'm kind of just sitting back and seeing what comes up, because yeah, we since we haven't played for a little while, and since I'm doing this whole streaming thing, I'm seeing if we could fit it all in. Gun nuts, the sword dudes. Right. Okay. On the bright hand, or on the bright side rather, I can probably take care of that guy. Right. Okay, makes sense. All right. Your players are honestly excited for your Tamriel campaign. That's right. Yes. The Tamriel being Skyrim, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, to be fair, that's the thing, right? And I'll give me half a second, and I'll wrap up the video, and I'll just chill out and stream for a bit. So yes. Wait. Okay. Let me quickly finish off the video. Thanks for watching. All that sort of stuff. I'll catch you on episode 10, which should be mega episode. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.